Suleiman Rahim here, Messenger of the Covenant, breaker of the seven seals. Brothers and sisters, follow up from yesterday. It appears to me comments that came to a little garbled again. Working on my enunciation, brothers and sisters. Working on it. At any rate, you need to understand this. Climate of fear is about to grip America. A season of fear. Intense fear. Right? Fear, panic. Beyond comprehension. Unprecedented fear. So much fear would turn children's hair gray, white. Unprecedented fear is going to grip America specifically. Europe also, but particularly America will be gripped in great, extreme fear. Because they're going to come face to face with consequence. Something they have ignored. Something they had no fear of. It says there was no fear of consequence before their eyes. They're saying there was no fear of God. And the question of God is a whole different issue altogether. Because they believe in God. But what God are we talking about? It tells you have to pay attention to these things, brothers and sisters. It said the God of this world is Satan. That's their God. Because it's his works and they are doing. He'll call Jesus is Satan masquerading as an angel of light. Like Farrakhan is masquerading as a minister of Elijah when he's not. That's the part of deception. Satan masquerades an image of, excuse me, masquerading, right, as angel of light. He's also masquerading as Israel. You get it? See, that's another meaning of what they're saying. Satan is masquerading as an angel of light, right? It's also talking about that. So I might as well point it out. Because he's masquerading as Israel when he's not real. Synagogue of Satan. Some of these things, I was told not to assume. I think some of these things that I pointed things out. I said, well, maybe I should have understood that. Well, maybe it didn't. Anyway, it says he's masquerading. It means he's pretending to be something he's not. And isn't that what false Israel is doing? Fear, unimaginable fear. Our people will be a victim of that fear also. Initially, because they're going to be caught off guard. This is coming upon them as a shock also. The shock of the hour is going to affect the entire planet. Only a few will survive that shock. Well, I shouldn't say it that way. Only a few, right, will be protected from that shock. Only a few. Those, the ones that know it's coming and know what's coming and what's going to be like, studying the angel. Otherwise, everyone is going to be in shock. Some in shock to their destruction, and some in shock, temporarily paralyzed, but will come out of it stronger. But fear is about to grip the entire world, including our people. Great fear. Because see, the people think they're protected, especially America, but they're protected. They don't realize their military can protect them. You know, the Quran says when you see mountains, they become as carded wool. What do you think? What do you think you're talking about? Carded wool is something like what? Like a cotton candy or something? You know, right? See? Let me just get a better perfect translation here, brothers and sisters. We always be correct here. carded wool. We're not like Farrakhan, those folks that just make up stuff, have no idea what they're talking about. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Look it up. It's right. It's like turning to not cotton candy, but some along those lines look like that. What are they talking about, brothers and sisters? What are the mountains? That's America and its so-called great military force. So when you see it, look at because it has no power. See, the mountain becoming credible. It's not suddenly their power be broken. That's why I said the powers of heaven be broken. You're gonna turn the. That's what the Quran's telling you. Turn the carded wool of nothing, of no consequence, no power. And when that happens, see, people, they feel secure because America, nothing can happen to us. We can't be invaded. We got protection. God's with us. And they feel secure. And part of the reason why, and part of the symptom of that is, oh, everybody's coming out. Oh, I'm gay. I'm married to a man, and I'm a man. I'm married to a man. That's my husband, and that's my wife, and all this stuff that's going on because they feel it's free, safe to come out because we're under the cover of America. We're in the cover of America. Nothing can happen to us. Now I have more here. Camera problems again. Okay, I see. I'm not going to finish this today either, brothers and sisters, because that opened doors to a lot of other topics. You understand? When you see wool become as carded wool, you're talking about the wool, the mountains, the powerful militaries. See, Trump talking this stuff, but his military has no power. It just looks like it. I mean, and they're getting their ass kicked all over the planet. They're bullies. They're only going to kick people that can't fight back. Okay? Anybody fights back, they end up losing. Afghanistan, right? They haven't really totally control Iraq. We're in Vietnam. You know, what's happening over in the Middle East? Little Yemen, little country, little small country, kicking their ass, and they cannot stop them from closing out the waterways. But I said when you see the mountains, it's turning to carded wool. That's what they're talking about, brothers and sisters. See, they got you afraid of this vaunted American, and it has no power. It just looks like it. Your personal find is just nothing. And that's what America's finding out. That's why I say men's hearts be filled with fear. Those coming upon the earth, because the powers of heaven be broken. Because now everybody's going to see it's broken. When America is thrown out of the Middle East, everybody will see it has no power. And the source, the fuel that fueled it, is just gone anyway. So even if the military was intact, it has no fuel. This whole reality has no fuel. Your car has no fuel, it stops. If it's going uphill, then it rolls downhill. America was going uphill, invading countries, kicking ass, taking names, going uphill, right? And so all of a sudden, the fuel is gone. Then what? Then it rolls downhill fast to a crash. You know, this whole thing is one big lie. They said to go out and see the whole world. And lie is so, if the fog is so great, I mean, sometimes you see fog and you can't see through it, you can't see 2 feet ahead in front of you. But this fog is so great, You can't see anything. You can't see the wall. Totally black. Angel, the only light in that fog. Like the angel points out so many things so simple. Why are the Arabs locked into struggle with false Israel with a fuel? It's like feeding your enemy. You make them strong, you know what it's going to do to you. They fuel. If they cut off, what do you think false Israel gets fuel? Why do you think they when Syria and Iraq, they get that fuel from false Israel? America claims they don't need any fuel. That's what they want. That's part of the reason. There's other reasons too. But one of the things, but if that wasn't part of the reason, America has so much fuel, then why are they taking their fuel? Why are they taking fuel from Iraq? Why are they taking fuel from Syria? And now here they're even taking fuel from Libya. Why? And where's false Israel getting their fuel from? Where are they getting it from? They're getting it from Arab countries, the Muslim countries, who they're attacking, they're beating. Why would you fuel someone that's destroying you, out to destroy you openly, attacking you all the time? Why are you fueling them? Why are you doing that? Oh, you could stop. They could have shut them down 48 years ago. They could have shut them down not 76 years ago, 1948. They could have shut them down because how were they attacking with? They were attacking with bows and arrows. They was attacking with armor and artillery and planes that require fuel that they was getting from you. Ask those questions. See, no one asked these questions. No one asked these questions because that's part of the deception. And all these religions, I can't call them fake religions because they're like calling counterfeit money fake. I mean, that's like what they call it. What's the word they use for that? Forget the word they use for that, right? Oxymoron. It's an oxymoron, right? Because they're already fake. So wow, that's like saying they're fake twice. Counterfeit money is fake. When we say it's counterfeit, that counterfeit means it's fake. Okay? So you can't really say fake in the situation. But it's all fake. All of it. Designed to keep you blind. So they figure out a way to get rid of you. Great fear. Unimaginable fear. Catch you unawares. So I'm going to try to speak clearly and slowly. And I used to, you would say, you've been speaking for 30 years, you should be good at it by now. I guess you could say that. But Elijah taught 40 years, he wasn't speaking any better from the, well, I can't say because I can't put that on him. He wasn't speaking any better than he was in the beginning. Right, so I don't know. I'm not a speech, what we call speech therapist. So, and that's a strange thing, right? Because my demon wife, she was a speech therapist. Right? So maybe she could have helped me, but if they, I don't know what you can, like I said, I'm not a science on voices, at least not as far as just talking. And I have a bad voice, and it seems like it get worse as I get older. Right? At any rate, brothers and sisters, like I said, I'm working on it. So I want to kind of review what I said yesterday. I said a lot of things yesterday. And when I look back and look at it, I wasn't at all happy what I heard because these things need to be clear and precise. And someone who has to deliver I keep telling you, I've said it often. It seems like it's a what you call it? I don't know. It's contrary because it seems like the people that chose to do these jobs are people less qualified to do it. I mean, at least from the outside looking in, look at the Quran. The Quran says the most beautiful literary aspect of Arabic that they've ever seen. If you speak Arabic to the Quran, it's absolutely beautiful. There's no poet, anything can match it. That's what's told. If you speak Arabic, it said it's the best ever. No one can compete. There's no Arabic literature that can compete with the Quran, not even close. But yet, Prophet Muhammad could not read or write. But he delivered the best literary rendition of Arabic ever, at least far as we are knowing this particular reality. And then look at Elijah Muhammad. He had to stand up against these scholars, these educated people, toe-to-toe with them by himself. By himself. And the man, I think he had third grade education. Couldn't speak well. Yet he was go up against these educated people, scholars, scientists, historians. Then says, son of man, he got to go against the whole world. All of it. All of it. See? The things these three individuals had in common was power. But the quality of it wasn't good. You know. And it seemed like it averts to what, because the angel is precise. It's not like the Quran. Quran is in general. Some of the verses are decisive, some allegorical, like the Quran says. But the angel is precise. And then you got someone who doesn't talk clearly. Deliver it. I'm sure I have some ideas why that is. I'm sure there's a great science behind it. I just don't have time to investigate it. It's not going to change anything. I don't think it's going to change my voice. So, and right now, this light needs to be totally bright. So that's why I'm doing this over and over. Pretty much the same thing. But now I'm conscious of I need to speak slowly. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's part of it, right? Now that I know that I don't speak well, I'm going to work hard to try to speak well. So there was a story. I forgot what his name was. It wasn't Diogenes. It was in Greece, ancient Greece, right? It wasn't. No, Diogenes was the guy who was looking for around a lamp, looking for a righteous man. That's that's another story altogether. I forget this guy. He was a famous orator, and he couldn't speak. He grew up with like a speech impediment. So you don't give up, right? And so what he did was he went out to the beach, according to the story. This is not a fable. This actually happened. At least, and he put pebbles in his mouth. He filled his mouth with pebbles. Then he kept every day struggling, trying to speak with pebbles in his mouth until it got to where he could speak intelligibly. I mean, he wasn't speaking well. But if you got pebbles in your mouth, it's hard. Anybody understand what you're talking about? Like you got food in your mouth. You got pebbles. It was difficult for him to talk with pebbles in his mouth. He kept on talking to people to understand what he was saying with pebbles in his mouth. And once he got to that level, now what made him think that he could do this or whatever, I don't know. He took the pebbles out. And so if he could speak clearly, he get people understand what he said. I ain't say clearly. He can people understand what he said with pebbles in his mouth. I guess the reasoning from his point of view was, if I take the pebbles out now, they're gonna really understand me. I'm gonna speak very clearly now because they can understand what I'm saying with pebbles in my mouth. Man, it worked. He became the, I'm not sure if he was the best, but he became one of the premier orators of ancient Greece. I think he became the very best because he had, he could speak so clearly and so perfectly. Right? And it has an impact on people like Farrakhan. See? Because people listen to people that they can understand what they're saying. Even though they ain't saying nothing. Even though they're not saying anything, here I go. But people that may be saying things very important but not saying it clearly, they turn them off. Man, I don't know what you're talking about. Boring. Okay, let's move on. A war with consequence. Now, I know I'm not going to get this today because I looked at it, and yesterday I got through maybe, I have over 130 slides here. I'm not going to get to that today. No way. I might be lucky. I'm lucky. I might get through it by the end of the next week if I cover all these. But new things happening, so I have a lot. There's so much to talk about, and even with everything here, still so much. I had to go to doctor Thursday. I believe it was, because I'm retired. So I got to see him once every 6 months, I guess. And he finds me very difficult. he says, you're doing all the right things, man. You're in good shape, health and everything, man. But but you're stubborn. Because I don't want to take all these medicines. Every time I go, this medicine, that medicine. He threatened me, he said, man, this pH or something very high, man, is going high. That could mean you have cancer. And then remember your kidney function. You need to check that because you may be on dialysis. He's with this stuff, man. I've been hearing this stuff for years, right? I keep telling him, I said, look, I said, I'm 76 years old next week, right? I said, you think we're going to worry about that? Well, I don't want you to feel bad. I don't want you to get sick. I mean, then he pulls out this test on me. I never did that before. Memory test. And he said, repeat these 3 words. He's got an accent. He's from out of country, right? And I didn't understand one of the words because it didn't come clear about it. And I got it. I repeated it. I thought that was it, right? Then he told me this diagram and said, I want you to draw a picture, do something with this. I did that. Right? And I gave it to him. He said, oh, that's cool. He liked that, right? Okay, so okay, you got that. You aced that, right? So it had to be it was a diagram. You had to fill in, put some numbers and stuff in the right place and everything else, right? You aced that. Then he threw those 3 words back on me. What's those 3 words I asked you? Oh, man, you got me. I know you want me to remember that stuff. Right? And I couldn't remember them. I remember one of them. One was banana. The other two I couldn't remember for nothing. They're trying to be chair and restore something. I got the 3rd one. I said, man, that was cold, man. You ain't tell me what they said. It was part of the test. I said, why don't we remember some stuff that I don't need to remember? I said, when you get my age, you start memory management. Because you got so many memory cells. It's not infinite. Right? And so you start remembering a lot of stuff you don't need to remember. And so you start getting rid of stuff you need to remember. I hope you understand that. You don't have infinite memory. You can't remember everything. In fact, 90% of your life, you don't even remember. 90% of your life, even if you're in the 20s, you don't even remember. 90% of you don't remember. You go back and say, what you did last week? What you did the week before that? What you did? Okay. And so I said, okay, well, whatever. They said, well, you got 1 out of 3. I said, okay, fine. See? So, and I told him, I said, well, I ain't going into all the details. I said, no, well, no, my memory is not all that good as far as things like that. I said, I meet someone, they give me a name, I never remember it. Why should I remember it? I may never see this person again. Hey, my name is Corey. Well, fine. Right? Why am I going to remember this person? I may never see him again. I don't think about. I don't remember anybody's name until I meet him a second time, and then I figure then I record it. It's a conscious thing. I just don't remember stuff unless I decide. I say, okay, like when you store stuff, okay, I'm gonna store this. Where I'm gonna store that. When you get to my age, that's where you get to. Okay, I need to remember. Okay, I remember this. You need to store this and throw that away. But at some point, your memory cell get full, and then you got to say, well, kick this out. Remember this. Anyway, you learn things when you get older. Like I was trying to explain to someone, and about wisdom. You got experience wisdom, and you got mathematical wisdom. Like you got 3 stages of it. Like Solomon says, and Solomon is the wisest man ever lived. Who just Solomon says the wisest man ever lived? What does that mean? The wisest man ever lived. Think about that one. And he says, he says, get knowledge and get wisdom, and all I get and get understanding. So he put in 3 categories. He said, get knowledge, get wisdom, and all I get and get understanding. So, like the first 50 years of your life, you're getting knowledge. If you survive to be 50. If you ain't just a dope bag, crazy or stupid. Because what's knowledge you're getting? Because you get knowledge from all the people around you. You've seen this, you've seen that. You've seen the things you've done. Because that's by the time you get 50, probably 9% of people you knew are gone by the time you get 50. I know just about everybody I grew up with is gone. I know about a couple of people that I grew up with, and I haven't heard from a couple of them, so they may not even be around anymore. They're still around, and they're not in good shape. So 9% of people, but when they was growing up, you saw people making these decisions. They said, taking this path, going this way, that. And that over years, you see, oh, this person's going, that person's going. But you said, how that path ended up. Or they end up in jail, end up dead, end up on drugs, end up getting killed. And you just look at it and say, that's the path they took. And you watched it, and you had 50 years, 20 years, depending on the person, the journey, and then you saw the destination. So you saw the path it went on, right? And the journey along that path, and then what it ended up at. You understand? Destination. And so you've seen this over. And very seldom there's 2 people have the exact same destination that may be close. Well, you saw your friends took drugs, and almost all of them end up in the same way. Other people they did this. I did robbing still. You say, oh, yeah. So you get knowledge. Also, from your personal experience, you get knowledge if you survive it. So now by the time you get 50, now you go into a stage of wisdom. I'm talking about experience type of knowledge and wisdom. I'm talking about mathematical. So that's another level. So now, you know this, so you can tell people, hey man, don't take this path. So you can now you got wisdom. Because now you know how these path ends up. You say, hey, don't take this path. But they can't see it, but you can. Don't take this path, don't do this. Don't do that. Shouldn't do this, shouldn't do that. Give advice. And so that goes about 25 years. You give advice to people. Then by the time you get 75, then you go into the next phase, understanding. Because now you see what happened to people that took your advice. Right? And remember, now you see somebody, in the beginning, you saw people from Jump Street going to the destination. That's from 0 to 50. 50 to 75, you saw people that was going along this path, and then as a vector, you gave information. They changed it. They changed it to some extent, maybe not 100%. In other words, your advice influenced their path, the journey. So the journey is going to be different than what it would have been if they started out on that path to begin with. So now you see what happens to people if they take your advice, if they change their journey, right, in the middle, along the way. Then you got that. So now you come to a level of understanding. Okay. See what I'm saying? So those are three different levels. Now I understand. So now you can better give advice, or maybe not give advice. Or maybe it's best don't give advice. In other words, you can make a decision on this, right? So you get to understand what this all means, how it works together. Because you giving advice, how you affecting people, how people affecting you. A level of understanding. Those three levels of wisdom, as far as experience is concerned. They talk about the mathematical level. That's a whole different type of way of looking at it. See, I come from the mathematical side. You get the other side, but then the mathematical side, that's another way too. That's right. But anyway, let's move on. See, I already diverted already. How much I had to divert? About 20 minutes already. Let me do this too. I tell myself I'm not going to, I keep doing it anyway. Make a liar out of myself. So much talk about brown scissors. So much. Like I said, I was telling the person that, trying to explain to him, right? Because they just got to their 50s. I said, do you understand? Oh man, I didn't think of it like that. Well, maybe my advice, so you can get good advice, has a bad effect. What I mean by that? Okay, don't take drugs. That's good advice, right? This person, maybe they stop taking drugs, right? And then they go to something even worse. So it was better off taking drugs than what the worst they was doing. Because you didn't think they were, I ain't gonna take drugs no more. You think they were gonna do the worst thing, start robbing people, killing people or something. Because somebody stopped doing one thing, like you can say, okay, I'm gonna stop smoking cigarettes and I start smoking weed. Which one's better? Okay. I'm gonna stop beating my wife. I'm gonna stop beating my children now. So you don't know the effect it's going to have a person with your advice. That's what I'm saying. That's where you get to a level of understanding, because you have to understand. Remember, you're giving advice now. But now you say, what if this advice is having? See? Because don't always have a good result. Because you give good advice, don't always have a good result. You give the same advice to a devil and give it to a original person, they're going to have the same impact. Because you have to consider the nature That's why you get understanding. Consider the nature of the person you're giving advice to. Because you're assuming that, hey, you tell them to stop taking drugs, that means they're going to be a better person. Really? And you better stop smoking that weed. Okay. They start smoking crack. I ain't smoking weed anymore. See, that's why you got to, and that's the next 25 years, from 50 to 75. You get 75, so okay. If I tell this person stop smoking weed, this nigga be smoking crack, so leave him alone. How come you don't tell him stop smoking weed? See? Now you under fire. Why don't you tell that boy to stop smoking weed? Because, and you can't explain it to him, because if I do that, he's going to start smoking crack. Would you rather be on weed or would you rather be on crack? That's the understanding level. So I don't think any of you are on that level yet. So perhaps you'll get there one day. I have to be careful about the advice I give. It's like right now. See what Farrakhan's doing? You're so wicked, because he's looking at it from the Seal Bible. Well, he's a demon anyway. But people are buying that. See? So therefore, you're reacting in a bad way, and you're feeling bad about yourself. You're so sinful, you're so wicked. You understand? You're sinful, you're so wicked. And you're not sinful, you're not wicked. But it just looks that way. Because you have understanding. So if you step in, our people, if you don't have understanding what I've been teaching about the angel, you say, yeah, man, look how people, they're wicked, they're wicked, look at how sinful they are. They're ignorant, stupid. See? And you buy into that. And then you tell them, well, you need to stop being wicked stuff. Then you're blaming them. You got to atone and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So you're going to give advice to them. You can give bad advice. Because you give advice based on what you think they're doing. They're sinful. So you tell them they got to atone. They got to blame themselves for what happened to them. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. Okay, consequence is the most funnel nature of the universe. Consequence is the universe. Because consequence is mathematics at its most fundamental level. That's what consequence is, mathematics. All mathematics is consequence. That's why we have an equal sign. So on this side has to be on that side, other side. That's consequence. If you say Islam is mathematics, mathematics, Islam, you have to be saying, right? Islam is mathematics. That's what you have to be saying. Okay? And religions, Islam is not a religion. And see, I'm going to go be distracted again. It said, it told them, I will give you Islam as a religion. Wait. Did you try to break that down? I'm going to give you Islam, that's what's in the Quran, as a religion. I mean, give it to me as a religion. That means it ain't a religion. Because you get some as something else, that means it's not that thing. Like you say, he's like this. Well, he's like this, then he's not that. He's similar to it. He resembles it, but it ain't it. Like, he like the Son of Man. If you say he's like the Son of Man, it means he's not the Son of Man. He's similar. If there's some as something, that means it's not it. That means you say Islam is not a religion. He's telling you right there, I give you Islam as a religion. So right there, that little piece right there tells you Islam is not a religion. But you didn't pay attention to that until I just told you. I guarantee you, probably no one on this planet paid attention to that before I just said it. If anybody's paying attention at all, that can be issues, brothers and sisters. One issue after another. Mental issues too. I know my screen was blank for a while back. You understand? Did you pay attention to that? It says, I'm saying that's why you have to start thinking mathematically. So those things you pay attention to those things. You don't just let it fall past. I'm gonna give you. It says in the Quran, try to show the verse. I'm gonna give you Islam as a religion. That means it's not a religion. Then what is it? But the Christians will tell you it's a religion, and the Quran says no, it's not. That's definitive enough for me. I will give you Islam as a religion. Because religions didn't come into existence until 50,000 years ago. I think less than 35,000 years ago. When they got out of sync with the universe, out of the mathematical standard. Because that's what Islam is, mathematics. When they lost the mathematics of the universe, right, then they come conjecture about how the universe works, and that's what religion is. Conjecture about how the universe works. I don't care if it's Buddhism, Hinduism, Christian, it's conjecture. They don't know. Just guessing. They had no idea. I mean, some of them didn't even know the world was round. They had no idea. Okay? Conjecture. Because they lost the mathematical. Now the angels are giving you the mathematics again. Think about that. Even with Elijah, you didn't get the mathematics of the universe. You gave a mathematical language in the problem book, but you didn't get the mathematical universe. You didn't get it. Not with Elijah. You sure ain't getting it with Farrakhan. It's not in the Bible, straight up. You only get the mathematical universe. Yeah, you probably never thought of it like that. I've never thought of it like that. How the universe opens and contracts, energy deprivation. Why we? Because Elijah Muhammad never explained why we had to go through what we went through. He told the history that Yaqub came along, but why didn't we stop Yaqub? Why did we allow it to happen? He said, close he came was Earth was in an unrighteous orbit. And that's close as he came to it. Now I don't know if Master Muhammad knew. I believe he had to know. He knew the history. He has to know the mathematics of the universe because, I mean, the plane he built is based on principles that govern the universe. And those will never learn. They'll never understand. Because it's beyond their ability. But you didn't have any idea how the universe works until I told you. Those just paying attention. If you think about it, you know that. You had no idea how the universe worked. You didn't know how you fit into it. You had no idea why things were happening, why they happened. You really had no idea who God is, or was, or should be. You had no idea. Because it wasn't anywhere. No one was teaching you anything close to it, not even similar. Forget about the fact, demons and jinn and dragons and God and May. You had no idea any of this stuff, any of it. If you go back and honest yourself and say, damn, what was I thinking before I heard this? You know, you were somebody else. You were someone else. In fact, you was no one. You was a zero. Now, someone said to me, you know, and I kind of like, I guess, okay. See, I'm getting ready off topic. Let me say this real quick before I forget it. Let me make a note of that because I'm going to forget that too. Okay, let me make a little short note of that. Told the doctor, told me to get a little test, right? Now I forget. Go up, write down. Mm. Mm-hmm. Which one I'm going to read? Oh. And I almost forgot the other topic already. Just that quick. Well, let me deal with this one I do remember. What was talking about? Oh, man. And she had a little background. And I'm praying for my son. I said, sister, don't waste your time. I'm praying that God help my son. I said, don't waste your time doing that, sister. What you mean? I can't pray to God help my son? I said, what did God say? He ain't gonna help him. He said he want to help those help themselves. Oh, did she give me a look? She gave me a look, boy. Did you waste your time? He got to help himself. That's what it said. God will help those help themselves. So stop praying for God to help him. He got to help himself. That's what God says. Only help those who help themselves. See what I'm saying, brothers and sisters? Now I remember my topic before I got off of there, right? I don't remember. Well, anyway, maybe I'll come back to it. But brothers and sisters, we these religions, right? I said the whole idea is to take and it's conjecturing, and you didn't know anything before this. You didn't know anything. If you admit it, what does that mean? Because those of you who accept this, I told you, if you're someone just accept it, don't apply it, and don't understand and study it, then you waste your time. Because you waste your time with me, because I don't have time for you if I find that's what's happening. But if you applying it, that's why I say open up people's eyes. Because the world is blind. You was blind. If you look at it and analyze it, you was blind before you heard this message. That's assuming that you picking up on you studying it, you was blind. You had no idea of anything I'm telling you. Nothing. Zero. And if you apply, you go back and say, that's everything I'm saying is actually absolutely correct. But you had no knowledge. And this knowledge comes from you from every angle. Science, mathematics, history, sociology, psychiatry, if you want to talk psychologically, comes from every biologically, from every, cleaning all that up. That's why I said a great light. Because if you go back and look at the knowledge you had before, you had none. You was total darkness. But you didn't know you was in darkness because you didn't look at darkness like that. Because how could you know what light is if you've never seen it? See, people walk around in a blind, they're blind, they think they can see because that's the only light they've ever seen. If all you've been drinking dirty water all your life, you think that's clean water. How you know it's dirty? You never seen clean water. Why are you concerned? That's the way water is. As far as you're concerned, that's the way water is. Until you see clean water, oh, then you see the difference. And so what you're hearing in your religions and things like that, right? Okay. They tell you separate off faith. You think that's the light. Oh, Jesus gonna take care of me. When I die, I'm going to heaven. And you never ask any questions because that's totally right. What's the word they use? Indians use what's the I don't know the word they use. Taboo. That's totally taboo to ask questions because they don't have answers. So to have this light is a blessing beyond comprehension if you're getting it. But sometimes you get something you don't appreciate it because you didn't pay for it. Sometimes you get something and you don't appreciate it, you don't have because now you got it. You never go back and compare it to what you had before. Now I know how I was before I got the angel. And what it took to get to this level where I'm at right now. I know it's the difference between night and day. I mean, I knew what Elijah taught. That was a lot. That was a lot more than I knew before I met Elijah. But the angel took me way beyond that. Because it reveals everything. It leaves nothing out. You want to talk mathematics, go and break that down. You want to talk consequence, break that down. You want to talk about physics, science. You want to talk about atoms. You want to talk about neutrons. You want to talk about stars. You want to talk about universe. You want to talk about energy deprivation. How we got in this situation here. Who the devil is, right? The covenant. You didn't know about it in the covenant. You didn't know how you had a reward coming. You didn't know you had a reward coming. There's a great reward coming. You don't even know it. If you don't appreciate it, that's on you. Right? If you're not acting on it, that's even on you even worse. But the war with consequence. Now, every action has an opposite equal reaction. There's no exception to that, and most of you didn't understand that or know it. Because you understand the law of consequence. Because a lot of you doing things that was bring about consequence, you didn't realize it. And those are people that are seeing the angel. That's a consequence of something they did, right? And they've seen a positive consequence of that. They may have done something when they was in Holocaust, right? Made a great sacrifice or something for somebody, and now they're being paid for it. That's being open. Or if you're seeing this, that means you did something. It's a consequence of some act you did. You don't know what it is, but these things, you know, like me getting an angel, that's a consequence of something. If you go to look at my story, look at all the sacrifice I made. I said I was making sacrifice. I didn't know I was making sacrifices. I was hanging out in the street. My father gone, my mother was gone. I was on my own. I was hanging out. Right? I would go to the library and stuff. I was hanging out with the guys, the girls. Right? Wasn't hard on the girls, but I like girls. I love girls. But I did like reading and science. I did like that. But and the girls liked me too, but they just didn't like me. They started talking to me. They weren't interested in what I was talking about. I was talking about science and stuff like that. They had no idea. I thought everybody wouldn't talk about that. That's why I was fighting all the time, because everybody got tired of me being around me. Next time I'm in a fight, what are you talking about that crap for? So I said, and a lot of people don't understand it. See, because I went in the army in '66. In '66, when Motown was blasting, everybody was doing their thing, man. The girls was fly, right? Partying, going to parties all the time and everything, man. And Motown sound, blasting, man. People, black folks, you know, starting to think black, and I didn't know about Elijah Muhammad, that influence. I didn't know that's what that was. Thing they do. I didn't know anything about any of that, except like I said, my father did take me to the temple, but I didn't understand what was going on. He was converting, but I didn't know that. Man, it was jazzing. And if anybody's seen that movie, Dead Presidents, the scene when he goes in the bar, the guy going to the bar at the beginning, and then they put a record, and they say, man, that's the way it was. Man, you was, boy, that old time was rocking. And I just walked away from that and went to the military. I said, I'm gonna get off the streets here. Everybody said, man, what you just jamming, man. Nobody understood that. I said, man, I didn't see any future. I saw it was jamming out there, you know. I couldn't dance, but you know, I was I was cool. I mean, everybody knew I ain't everybody knew not to mess with me, right? Because they knew where I was coming from, but I was there. So I That was one of my sacrifices. And I'm in there, I'm rolling, got promoted, a lot of stuff happened, right? And a lot of other things happened. I'm talking about the major things, right? Then I got in Vietnam, then I ran across a thing by Elijah. I'm a sergeant at the time, right? I got paying down on a Porsche. They had a special program. If you was in the military in Vietnam, I was going to have me a Porsche, right? I already put 4 years in. I was going to have me a Porsche. I was come back home. College education paid for everything. Man, I was going to be the man. I was going to be super fly. And I ran across thing by Elijah. I dropped all that and went looking for Elijah. Put myself on the line. If they caught me, they put me in jail. Fort Leavenworth someplace for 10, 20 years or whatever. Right? I didn't care. I said that was right. I went through it. I know. I said this Elijah must have existed. Remember, I didn't know. I'm just going with the scriptures say. And that's another thing that's kind of bugged me lately, right? But that's another story together, right? But I put my total faith in the scripture. Well, let me say it. I can't leave it like that, right? This whole thing about the timing, that bugs me. I told you, but Jonah, it bugged him more because he put total faith in this. And then, because he wanted to die. He was so bad about it. It's just, because I put total faith in this. I had no idea. Nobody was telling me. I put faith. I said, Elijah must exist. I got to go find him. I give everything for that based on just what it says there. And so when you do that, they put total faith in something and then found that's very troubling. But I'm gonna leave that alone, right? Because you see it tell you, Jonah, he was very young about that. He said, that's the timing, that's still the timing, and then it didn't happen. He wanted to commit, he wanted to die. But I'm gonna leave that alone. See, I'm not gonna let my faith be shaken over that. But Judge Jonah, Jonah said he wanted to die because he said, man, you don't put me in a position here. You put me in a red position. I don't know, man, why you? I mean, that's the only time you see any messenger or prophet, anybody, arguing with God. Satan didn't even argue with him, but he did. Jonah did, because he was real upset about that. That don't mean God's a liar. It just means that whatever anyway, move on. So, and I put myself to it. I went, and that was sacrifice. And the other sacrifices. And so, point is, I make all these sacrifices. What's the consequence of these sacrifices? Well, that was preparing me to build enough sacrifice, enough positive energy, and proper motivation and a mindset to go after, to run those angel and then break the seals. See? So consequence work can work for you. Sometimes you don't, for you, against you. If you're doing positive things, right? You get positive consequence. You're negative, you get negative. See? Well, let me be careful with that. You do some positive. Let me anyway, right? So the consequence, you cannot destroy it. It's impossible. There's no exception. No. What do we call it? It's impossible. No miraculous thing. Nothing. You cannot destroy consequence, and it cannot be. That's what Christ said. You will pay for every action you've done. Fundamental principle. Okay. But there was deception going on. See, the devils said they would come out to see the whole world. But the consequence of that is deception in return. They came out to see the world, but they was being deceived themselves because they was caught in deception and in the process deceived themselves because they was going out and they were going to take everything everybody got. And so, especially when it came to us. because we were the exception to them. How is that? Okay. Because we submitted, that made them think they was doing the right thing. They was being deceived. They was being deceived. Because they thought they was doing the right thing, because it says the time come when men we abuse you and kill you, and they think they're doing God's will. So Adam thought he was doing God's will, which he was. You see? But God did not tell Adam what it was going to be. He didn't tell him that. You call that deception? He didn't tell him what his end would be. Because if you told Adam, man, after all this here, man, I'm going to tear you, I'm going to destroy you, you didn't tell him that. Man, I'm talking about, if you follow my guidance, think about this. If you follow my guidance, no fear will come to you or grief. Now, when God told Adam that, he knew Adam was going to do it. He knew Adam was not going to follow his guidance. You see what I'm saying, brothers and sisters? So you got to start thinking clearly. But he wanted Adam to do what he did, to afflict us. Because he said, let's make man our likeness and image. You got to understand the master of it. He said, what does it take to do that? You got to be afflicted. You got to be under stress, pressure. And the best way to be totally against your nature, something can be a force against you, is against your nature. That's the maximum pressure you can be under. But it has to be affliction. So another way to look at it is, if you say God is foreseeing, see, Christians can't handle this part. They can't handle any of it. Because I hit them. I say, I'm going to give you an example. I said, did God create and make it? Yeah, he made Adam. Can God see in the future? Yeah, he could see in the future. I said, he could see what Adam's going to do after he made him, could he? Oh, so you get a pause. See, because they know where you're going then. They're ready to move on. I mean, I got a meeting. I got to go. I got a meeting or something. Yeah, I got to go to lunch. Because if God made Adam and Eve, I mean, that's the whole story. What kind of physiology did Adam have if there was no Eve? And then he had to make Eve later. Wouldn't he have to change Adam's physiology? Or would he need certain things if there was no Eve? Everybody ask these questions. Okay? So, okay. But he knew, God said, I see in the future before it happens. I know I made this thing, this character. I know he's going to sin for it. He's going to do all kinds of bad things. So why'd you make him? And then why are you going to punish him when you know you made something that's faulty? You don't ask these questions. Isn't that deception there? Oh, I'm going to punish you for doing evil. But I knew he was going to do evil because I made you. And there's a flaw in you. Not the flaw is because I didn't make you perfect. So now you're doing evil. I'm going to burn your ass up. What the hell is that? What is that? What is that? I'm going to put your ass in hell forever, never, never. Well, I didn't make myself. I don't give a damn. You had a choice. Well, yeah, but you made my mind. You gave me free will, so the free will you gave was default. It was faulty. Don't talk back to me. I'm gonna burn your ass up. Don't say another word. I'll see you in eternity. You're wicked, evil. But you made him. So who's the wicked person there? The object that was made or the person that made it? See, you can't ask those type of questions because the answers would destroy you, would literally corrode your brain. Because then you have to say that question, if you look at it, obviously, God must be the evil, wicked one. Why would he do something dumb as crazy, evil as that? But I thought it was love. Well, how is it love? He put somebody in eternity forever, never, never. Something that he made. Didn't make itself. They didn't ask to be made. They said, God, please make me. You made it, it's faulty, now you're going to punish it. for being faulty. Well, they have freedom. You know, whatever they are, you made it. But you can ask those type of questions. Okay. So I'm really getting way off base. So actually, I'm not. I got to be more disciplined and just stick with my topic. But those questions you don't ask. And most of you, if you listen to this here, that's too much for your mind. Your mind's already quaking. Because if I accept that, man, that must be the devil, man. And Jesus going to get me. I can't, I'm saying God's evil. It's wicked. Is he? He's a mathematician. That sealed Bible, those events didn't happen like that. There's messages. God didn't make no Adam like that, then Eve later on. They're talking about American Britain. But see, if you look at it that way, it's deception. And Adam was made to be deceived, he's made to be destroyed. If you make a snowman, don't you make it to be destroyed? If you make a snowman, don't you make it to be destroyed? When the wind's over, it's going to be destroyed. God damn, we're so hard to understand these things. If you make a snowman, you make it to be destroyed. If you make the devil, you make it for the period of energy deprivation. Then he's going to be. He's made for the winter season. As the winter season's over, he's going to die. Period. He's made for the winter season. So he made him to be destroyed. A snowman cannot survive the winter. And that's it. But your mind can't handle that. Because he's a devil. He's wicked. Look at the stuff he's saying. Saying God's wicked. He's evil. I'm not saying any of that. That's what you're saying. Because your mind is weak. And you're not thinking mathematically. So that's what you're looking at from a sealed Bible point of view. And then that's why you make these bad ideas, bad assumptions, bad decisions. Let's get back to the topic, bro. Let me see. I know it's been about 2 hours already. Just. I'm in here. Yeah. Okay. So the thing is, Adam was not going to told about how his end would be. He's told, if you follow my guidance, there'd be no, you would not be, no fear of grief. When he told me, he knew he wouldn't follow his guidance. He knew he wouldn't follow his guidance. So why would you tell him that if you know he's not going to do it? You know he's not going to do it. So are you deceiving him? You think he's going to get something he ain't? Because he can't comply? If you take him, do his job, I'll pay you. I'll pay you $1,000 to do this job. I know damn well you can't do the job. When you start doing the job, I said, if you take this job and you finish, do everything I tell you to do, finish it up, right? At the end of the day, I'm going to get $1,000. We know damn well he's not going to be able to do that. So if he works all day, and at the end of it, you don't give him $1,000. I said, well, you didn't do everything you're supposed to. Well, you knew that when you gave it to him. You knew that when you gave it to him. So now you don't, so then you deceive him. You got all that work. And you don't get it, you don't have to pay $1,000. Adam is not going to heaven, but he was promised heaven. If he did certain things which they knew Adam couldn't do. See? Because your idea of deception is totally wrong. See? God is not a deceiver. He's a mathematician. See? Let me give you one example. I'm saying these things. I'm trying to shake your mind out of these emotional ideas and false concepts you can grasp, hold on to. What it says, I'm not saying this accurately, right? But there's a situation here where it says there was an attack. I think just during Prophet Muhammad's time, and he says Allah made you. It was like, I'm just giving an example. If you can read it, this example is accurate. It's just right. It's paraphrasing because I don't know the exact words. It said like it was like say it was 1,000. Say it was like 10,000. But it said Allah made them to look like made the people, his people, to see on like there's only 100. Now you can find the verse in there, and maybe I can show it next time, right? And he said the reason Allah said he did that to encourage you. Because if you just sort of look at 10,000, you'd probably been afraid. But since it was 10,000, it was only really, but you made it look like he made you to see them as look only like 100. That means that you'd be fired up and you'd be ready to fight. And that he knew that you could beat them, but you wouldn't beat them if you was in fear. Oh man, because you start thinking, because we thought, oh man, it's 10,000 of them. It's only 1,000 of us, man. So he made them look like it was only 1,000 of them. So they said, oh yeah. Because if they perceived it as 1,000, he made them see it that way. God said, I made them see it that way. Because they didn't see it like they were. They would say, oh man, we can't win this. And then if they went to battle, right, they would have been in battle half-assed, and they would have got slaughtered. So was that deception? He didn't tell the people how they were. He made the people see something that wasn't there for their own good. See? I'm trying to get you, these devils throw words at you. They twist words like they say, oh, it's a mind game, and they put words and things and concepts, and the angel Bible, still Bible is about concepts. Right? To keep you down, to keep you in a mind of submission, a mind of submission that was good for you, but you didn't realize it because it's going to transform you to the gods. But the whole world was deceived, even you was deceived about yourself. The sealed Bible deceives you about yourself. You're sinful. With fire saying you're sinful, you're wicked. Deceives you about yourself. Who wrote it? Who wrote it? Because it was a purpose, a greater purpose to be resolved there. Okay? And your submission, but wow, how did it make you submit? The sealed Bible is one big lie to enforce your submission, which would cause transform you into gold. Now you're better. Anyway, but that doesn't change the fact or consequence. Because the consequence of them changing us into gold would be their destruction. But they weren't told it would be their destruction. And we weren't told, right? We was told that we was going to be enslaved forever. That's what the Bible tells us. And then once I explained to you, it says, no, it's the opposite. They're going to hell, and we're going to heaven and turn to gold. It's just the opposite. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. I know I'm confusing a lot of you. But what's confusion? That's another thing. I'm totally off topic, brothers and sisters. You know, when you go in the gym and you start lifting, pain, right? Pain. But that pain doesn't tell you to stop. There's some deception. This pain is deception itself. Because you feel pain, I should stop this. Isn't that deception? You see what I'm saying? You gotta be careful when you use the word deception. If you lift and you pain, your first thought is, man, I shouldn't be doing this, hurt. But if you keep doing it, you get stronger. No pain, no gain. But pain, that's deception to your brain because it says stop. It hurts, it's hurting you. That's why a lot of people don't do it, man. I mean, it's hard. Right? Isn't that deception? It's just it's the block. And if you accept it, then you won't get stronger. You have to fight through the deception, and then you become stronger. But the pain tells you should stop it. Because normally that's what pain does. You see pain, you shouldn't do it anymore. You put your fan in the finger and you stop burning, you don't stick your finger in there longer. Things ain't gonna get better because you know pain usually is something to tell you to stop doing what you're doing. But when you start doing, you get pain. They said, oh. So if you're wise enough to get through, say, no, that pain is good pain. It's deception, but it's good because it's gonna make me stronger. The same thing with your thinking. See, pain on the mental level is confusion because you start thinking and you're confused. The same as that's pain on the mental level. And a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm confused. Sorry, I can't do. I'm confused." What the goddamn right? You can be confused. You don't know. You don't know what. You don't know the stuff. But we don't see that. And most of our people fold up and roll off. As soon as they see something, get confusing to them. That's confused. What's supposed? Oh man, that's so I can't do this no more. They don't go back to the gym. Oh, it's confusing. That's what confusion is to the brain. You understand? That's what I mean. That's what pain is to the brain. Pain is confusion. When you try to study something, and then you work through it. After a while, the confusion goes, and now you're stronger. I understood that concept early in my life because I said, "Oh man, it's hard." And I said, "Well, if I keep on going, I learn it. That means I'm gonna be stronger than anybody else." I go and take this calculus course, and it's confused as hell. If I learn it, that means I'm wiser than anybody else that don't know calculus. Mathematically, I'm above them now. That fit 100-pound weight. Oh, but now once I can lift 100 pounds, I'm stronger than anybody else that can't lift 100. That's went home and said, man, that's the way I can't handle it. That's why I looked at it. Okay? Like the angel. Once I got idea what's going on, I said, damn. And I realized the weight I'm gonna have to pick up to learn this stuff. I said, if I go ahead and do that, man, I'm gonna be the wisest person on the planet. Nobody's gonna know more than me. Because I know it all. But look what I gotta go through. And the pain was enormous. I tried to spend 3 years on Demon Island. I mean, all the stuff I went through. The confusion was, I couldn't tell you the confusion was getting into it. The confusion was like, oh, awesome. Some of the things I tell you, it took me years to figure it out. Years. I had to figure this out, that out, and put it, oh, wow. And all the time, I said, come on, I just kept fighting it. I knew it. I just kept on, and then finally I got it. And then I opened other doors, other things. You know? No pain, no gain. You know? You go ahead and go, then now you're on a higher level. And you went to the first floor, the second floor, it takes a little pain to walk them stairs. But now you're up there and you buff everybody else on the first floor. That's the attitude you have to have. So they were a consequence. Because all they did is seal Bible lies to them, deceives them, because they're thinking they're doing God's will. Remember the conversation here with Jesus? They thought they was doing the right thing. Jesus, no, you're doing the wrong thing. He told the truth. And they killed him for it. At least that's what the Bible says. He said, no, you follow the devil. Because based on seal Bible, most Israel is Israel. They're God's chosen people. Ain't that what the seal Bible says? That's a lie. They ain't. But they were. What does that mean? When Adam's rule, they were. They ain't now. Because Adam was in charge. And Satan was God of this world. Am I confusing you, brothers and sisters? See, it ain't straightforward 1+2 stuff like they was trying to teach you in school. See, because the sealed Bible was the truth during sealed Bible times. That's what it said on that day. Then the disbelievers will be the then at that time. Then the disbelievers will be the wrongdoers. That means there wasn't wrongdoers before. If they become wrongdoers at that time, we're doing energy deprivation. I mean, doing 5 years of Adam's rule, right? They was the righteous, and the jinn was the wicked. And the jinn, they was doing the rituals of God. They got God's holy places. Right? They said, we're going to keep worshiping you. And God said, hell with you, you're the wicked. But yeah, but Adam, man, they miss, yeah, but they're the righteous, I'm with them. But now that time is over. Now they're the wicked. See? Okay. So now, it doesn't, with all that in mind, it still doesn't matter. Consequence is still king. So they got to pay for everything they did. Pay for everything they did. So now, we're in the springtime. Hammer springtime. Well, what's the consequence of being a snowman in springtime? It was great during the winter. It ain't so good during the springtime, is it? That's the consequence of being a snowman. Is that too complicated for you? And a snowman is nothing he can do. Let's find a freezer you hide in. Nothing he can do to avoid the consequence of spring. Nothing. But during the spring, during the winter, he was God, he was mad. Unless he can adjust to the spring, you see, that makes us the eternal righteous because we can adjust to every season. But some of these nations, right, are seasonal. Especially the devils, also Orientals, they're seasonal. And that's why you don't see them in it, right? On the ark. They're seasonal. They're winter. There's nothing they can do besides spring, nothing. But they're war with the spring. They're war of consequence. It's a war they cannot win. And the power is fading all the time because when spring start coming in, things start melting. Depends on how fast the spring comes in. So now that power is way fading, like I told you, quite a war. All that power they had, that winter power. Oh man, we got ice castles, ice spears, ice balls, and now all of a sudden that stuff means nothing in spring. But you would fear them. When in the winter you fear that stuff. Oh man, that guy, you're gonna drop an avalanche on me. You're hit with an iceberg. Oh man, it's cold as hell out here, man. Oh, you're gonna throw me in one of ice prisons, man. Oh, I better leave him alone, man. I do motorcycles. You can lock me into an iceberg and you see what I'm saying? Because you got all that power. And all of a sudden the spring come rolling in. Things start melting, right? And you don't see it right away because snowman will get a little soft, iceberg a little melty, the water's running, right? Eventually, you see it getting weaker and weaker after a while. It's gone. Cotton wool. That's what you see those mountains. What's that? Those mountains seem firmly fixed. That's what it says. Mountains firmly fixed. I mean, that's some America. They firmly fixed. Make power. You can't. They the power so awesome, so firmly fixed. It's gonna be like cotton wool, like all the way. What are you talking about? We're talking about the military power. You think you're talking about a real mountain? You need to understand these things. And that's happening now as we see. That's what I call Master Muhammad, Lord of the Dawn. Dawn of spring. Okay? But they're going to fight it. And they cannot win. It's impossible. They're going to try. That's the war, that war of consequence. And then the other side, that is, we are the consequence. What's consequence? Consequence is vengeance. If it's opposite or equal, well, who did they do the evil to? They did it to us. Who suffered injury in our Holocaust? We did. All the evil was done to us. That's what said. Tell us to do what it's done. We have to do it because it was done to us. I don't disregard anywhere. And things that tell you, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. Well, okay. Can you add and subtract? Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. That's what he said. Vengeance is mine, I will repay. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, I will repay. You got that? Lock it down. Do to them as they've done to you. Hold it. I thought, I'm the one going to repay. Vengeance is mine. So how in the hell are you doing it if I'm supposed to? Because that's you. You're the one that's doing it. You're the God. You're the Lord. You better start learning to add subtract, brothers and sisters. Make an own agreement panel with God universe. It's telling you the God. You're the consequence of what they did. The personification of it. As there was a personification of our misery, the Holocaust, we're the personification of the consequence. Because what we do is the consequence of the Holocaust. And the Holocaust was on us. We're the consequence of it. What they did. Understand? Okay. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. Oh boy. I could be a couple miles. I haven't really got to my subject yet. Not really. Okay. Review this. Hopefully I'm talking clearly. Hopefully. To me, that's the hardest part of this thing. In a way, just talking clearly. No, I think I'm looking at it seems like I'm getting worse. And I gotta keep telling myself, take your time, talk slowly, clearly. Now here we go right here. As I said yesterday, there's three sides to this. And you didn't notice that. See, it says, Son of Man would notice subtleties unaware. I need to find that verse again. It says, he would know subtleties unaware. That means something so subtle things that people don't pay attention to. He would know them. He would recognize them. People wouldn't aware of them. So subtle things. Because the three major enemies of us, it said Esau, totally destroyed. Ishmael was going to be broken. And the demons destroyed, totally destroyed. Right? Of course, it says the leader, son of perdition, be consumed and then destroyed. Destroyed, totally eradicated. We say destroyed, don't mean killed. It means his whole seed, his whole family, all this wrapped out, all of this wiped out. Holy, everything about him. Okay? Got that? So, what are these three people? How do they reflect to us? Okay, we got Esau, our full brother, our twin brother. So it makes that very clear, right? See how I go another. I'm going. Let me say this. Stuff coming to my mind when I say twins. Okay, I remember this. If you go in there and okay. I'm just saying stuff that come about. So Okay. You know, there's this person in the Bible called Thomas, probably one of Jesus' disciples. Now, he's supposed to be Jesus' twin. Jesus didn't have a twin. I mean, God had two sons because he's his twin. It means, right? So now they're trying to confuse the issue. In the past, that was clear. Thomas, they call him Doubting Thomas. So he was Jesus' twin brother. He's a doubter. So he doubted him. But he was twin. So we know Jesus didn't have a twin, even though that story is about something else. So what does that mean? So Thomas would be another name for Jesus. And is it a coincidence that Jesus is also National of the Covenant, also Son of Man? Remember, hair like lamb's wool, feet as black as brass, which neither match from Muhammad nor Farrakhan has. But his birth name was Thomas. His birth name. Well, it got changed. I'll leave that to you. Think about that one. Anyway, you got one is full brother Esau. You got his half brother, his paternal half brother. Right? Who's the paternal half brother? That's Ishmael. Then you got his maternal half brother. Who's that? Legion. Demons. That covers all, don't it? Brother, half brother, paternal, half brother, maternal. Didn't notice that, did you? Why they do it like that? They're telling you that's one way of telling you everybody's against them. But these three right here, and the angels particularly talk about these, and they had to go down in a certain order. The first one goes down is the weakest one of all, right? The deceiver, his maternal half brother, which is not his blood. He's the enemy's son, but he's his maternal brother. The Demas, maternal half brother. Well, if he's maternal, he had to be half by definition, right? And then you got his paternal half brother, which is Ishmael. See, because his maternal half brother, he's deceiving him, pretending he's someone he's not. He's a hidden enemy. He's working for, right? His daddy, who are an open enemy. Remember, Farrakhan's daddies are our open enemy. He's our hidden enemy because he's our brother on the eternal side. See? So he's the one that's closest to us and deceiving us. He's the main source of our deception right now. Because the devils, they had us in bondage and everything else. Remember, in Mark, the devils had no control over us no more. He said, nobody could control them. But Legion did. Mine. See? He said it was many of them. But they had control. And so Jesus had to destroy his control first. And then you got Ishmael. Now remember, the demons, they're attacking us before we're born, before we conceived. Okay? Elijah didn't conceive us. That's how we all story together. Deceive. If you understand, there's your key. You got before the pregnancy, during the pregnancy, and after the pregnancy. The pregnancy hasn't happened yet. Okay? Because this is going to happen quick. And they should be born in a day. Everybody's born in a day, ain't they? See what I'm saying? As soon as you can see, you pay Every child in the world is born today. I mean, women, when they're born in one day. Ain't a child born in 2 days. When they come out that instant in some day. But they want to talk about that. Whoever heard such thing, it couldn't be talking about that, but that's universal. You're born in a day. But it takes 9 months, right, to be conceived. Not to be conceived, to be grow, embryonic. It takes a second to be, well, may take a day to conceive. It takes, depending on how long the sperm gets to the egg. I don't know what the time limit there. I don't think it's very long, right? From the time the sperm gets to you get egg and then fertilize it. And then you got the gestation period. I believe it's gestation, I think you call it. That's about 9 months, approximately. And then the birth happened in a day, an hour. So they're talking about that. Saying if you're born in a day, that means we're talking about the time, the pregnancy they're talking about, right? So the pregnancy hasn't happened yet, because it happens, right? When you understand the angel key, that's why I understand the angel key. When they attack us, when this war is lost in the Middle East, then that's when the pregnancy starts. And it will only last a day, within a year. Sure, and it actually could be a month. It will be a short period of time. It won't be a year, I can tell you that right now. You see? That's what he's talking about. I didn't get that one either. That's what he's talking about. Okay? So right now, we in pre-pregnancy, preconception. And that's the part Farrakhan comes in. Keep us from being conceived at all. We ain't going anywhere. We're still here. Keep us this, because Elijah Muhammad was trying to conceive the nation, and he made sure it failed. Give them birth control pills. So, you understand? So the conception, he's to stop the conception. We ain't going nowhere. Devils ain't devils no more. We're going to stand. America, you understand? But I'm trying to talk to you in your language. But that's what he is, to stop the conception altogether. Because the Nation of Islam is not about conception, it's about getting back into NASA. I can be a little more dragged than that, right? Reversing the process, going back to where it came from. A bit like that. Sperm. You see? That's what his job, to stop the conception altogether. Because who's going to do the conceiving? The messenger of the covenant. To stop the conception altogether. But then the conception happens. They get pregnant with us. See? Because he's destroyed. He's the one invented. He's destroyed. You see how this falls together? Because he's accused of our brethren. He's trying to prevent the conception. So he's our half brother on the maternal side, the demons. And then once we conceived, right? Then what? It's Esau. He begins his trouble. He tried to prevent us from being born altogether. He tried to prevent us from being born altogether. He attacked us while we're still in the womb. But one trying to stop the conception, one trying to destroy us, make us born, stillborn, kill us while we're in the womb. He attacks while we're in the womb. See how these stories, see how this falls? I tell you, when you get the map, everything I said is totally consistent with everything I've been saying. It's going into more detail. I told you I would. I try to show how these things connect. Because I'm trying to get you better grip on the angel. Because none of you have the angel's light turned on yet. You wouldn't. Because if you did, you'd be able to use the key. But part of what I'm doing right now is I'm helping the process. So when the time comes, and when Master Muhammad pulls trigger, it'd be easier for you to, because you right now, you've been thawed out. You ain't in the frying pan yet. You thawed out. But our people are still in the freezer. And they're going to hit this information right in the frying pan. And your blessing you have is that you're being thawed out. But any woman tell you, put meat right from the freezer into the frying pan, you're going to have some trouble. It's going to be some problem. If you let it thaw out first. The advantage you have is that you're being thawed out, you're in a thawed out process. That's the advantage you have. You're in a thawing out process. Our people, they're still in the freezer. So he's going to attack us while we're still in the room. And then what it said about the dragon, Ishmael, it says he was watching. As soon as you was born, right? The value, as soon as you was born. See the 3 stages there? That's the 3 stages. I tell you, it's more to the angel. I told you, well, last week I said, there's much more angel than I've been telling you. I can't get to the 3rd floor because you're still down in the basement. See, it's right there. It's perfect. Fits right in. And that's exactly what it's saying. That means we're going to be attacked. We're already under attack now because it says, he would make war with the saints and overcome in 40 years. That's what he's doing. He made war with us to try to keep from being conceived at all. And now that we conceive, Esau says, well, let's make them stillborn. And those of us that decided to survive that, see, so he was to stop the conception. So a lot of sperm didn't get to the egg. Those that got to it, he tried to make them stillborn. Those survived that. Dragons to finish you off. Those survived that, and he's going to get them. Dragons stood by to survive the child. So was born. That's your birth. Sunnism. Because Pharaoh can't take away from Islam. He's trying to keep him being conceived at all. You understand what I'm saying, bro? So you see the pattern there? That's what happened. And so what we're doing is our people, and I'm going to show it in a minute, and then I'm going to close out because I can't. We're running from one thing. After Elijah left, we ran to Farrakhan. Farrakhan goes, going to run to Africa. And that door shut, we run to Sunnism. We ran around trying to figure out what to do. Because we're in a dark cave, and we hear lions and bears roaring, and we don't know what to do. They run here, run here, run here, run here. They ran to Farrakhan. Elijah was going, ran to Farrakhan. Farrakhan's taken out, bam. Run to Africa, Africa, get to attack you. Finally, they go, we're trying to run to the Sunnis. They have knives out for you. Yeah. And see, you think as soon as your friend, you see, Farrakhan was part of that. You think as soon as your friend, the Africans, your brothers, and the angel, there's nothing in the Bible that tells you different. Except when the angel explains to you, once you understand the angel, then you know. Because you know there was all your enemies. You know Farrakhan was your enemy. He's Aaron. You know he was your enemy. These people are your blood enemies. And you didn't know it. The sealed Bible does not tell you that directly. You didn't know it, your angel. And our people lost a lack of knowledge. Why? Because they're going to run to these people. They'll run to Farrakhan. Oh, man. And then he's going, oh, let's run to Africa. They're going, in the process of just running around, they're going to be destroyed. They're trying to find a way out. Because when that war starts, they're going to close the borders here. If you ain't in, you ain't going to get in. If you ain't out, you ain't going to get out. They'll close the border. It's better be closed. And no electricity, atomic totally collapse. And you're all alone what to do because we're not unified at that time. What are we going to do? No food. Within 48 hours, you have cannibals running around. Within 48 hours, they start eating each other. These people can't go 48 minutes without eating something. And you'll be told, you might talk about fear. Be in great fear. The Bible tells you to be in great fear. Because it said, when you see Jerusalem by armies, that means when you see that situation, it says, run for your life. That means you're going to be in great fear. Don't go in the house, leave your baby, don't do anything, just run. That means you panicking, you're in fear. You're not going to be happy and rolling. If they're telling you if that's the condition you're going to be under, you're going to be in great fear. People are going to be in great fear, says flee for your lives. It tells you, don't stop, don't think, don't just go run. It means you're going to be running in panic and great fear. I told you that people are going to be in fear. Initially, but those that get through that are going to survive. So here you go. See? Yeah. And what happens? They're all out to get you. All your enemies. And they start disappearing. Demons. Yeah. Because you running from one, you run to, oh, they're gone. See? Run Africans. Right? Right? That didn't work. Run Sunnis. They after you. Right? But after they're all gone, then you find the right door. See? Oh, that's the right door. That's when you find Messenger of the Covenant, Master Muhammad, after you travel those three doors. How many people we lost in the process? How many people we lost in the process finding their way out through those three doors? They're going to run all those doors. You try Farrakhan? Where are you going? Let's try African brothers. They attack you. Let's go to Sunni, other brothers. And they're waiting for you. Attack you as soon as you're born. You say, oh, what am I going to do now? And then you see the light. Then you see the light. Okay. But you got to go through all those three stages. That's what I'm trying to prevent from happening. See? And that's why these people are going to pay a heavy price. Ben X, Silas, all of them. See? Because you should have came this right away. You should be there right now. When for them, you'd be there right now. That means you wouldn't have to go through the fear. You might even you might even avoid the tribulation, but you definitely would avoid the fleeing and the fear and the panic. You'd avoid all that. You wouldn't have been lost because of lack of knowledge either. That's because of them. So what kind of consequence you think they're going to pay for that? Think about that. That's because of them. Because you spend that, that's where you should be right now. You're not there because of them. And so like people lost the lack of knowledge. That's going to be in their hands. Okay? They run around in fear and in panic. That's because of them. Which I don't know what door. What we do? When the door was right there for you. If you'd been right there right now, you didn't have to go to tribulation. You'd be taken right out of here. Remember? It says, those sleep in the dust. It says, at that time, he would deliver all those in the Lamb's book. And then those sleep in the dust would awake. Then that's when you awake then. Then you see it, but it's too late. You're gone. The elect already gone out of here. But you was asleep because of them. Because of them. The ones condemned to everlasting darkness, every shame and appallment. If they even get through, because of them. There's you right now. Hope you understand, brothers. I think I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it there, brothers and sisters. Hope I talk clearly. I endeavor to talk slowly and try to talk clearly. I hope I able to achieve that. I could go, let's say, 4 hours. I got a lot more here. I'm talking almost an hour and a half already. You understand, brothers and sisters? You get the picture? Okay? Because of them. And it's a losing war. Because all of them going to be, it says what? What happens to the first one? Demons are destroyed. Boom. ESAU, right? You obliterated. All these going to be destroyed. The ISHMAEL, he's broken. You know, how Daniel says it. It says these things will be accomplished when the holy people, right? They've been broken. The power of holy people been broken. That's happening in the Middle East right now because they're taken down one by one. Iraq, Syria, so forth. They talk about Arabs. And now they say Egypt is nervous and Jordan is nervous. Breaking the power of the holy people. These things will be accomplished. That means there'll be all this disaster in the Middle East, which is going on now. So, at what point does that happen? Their power is totally broken. Well, when Iran makes this move to power, their power will be broken because they're going to have total control of the Middle East. So I put these things together. I can't tell you the exact time. I already told you what the angel says. But they tell you what the angel says is not right. But what you make of that? But it says, nobody knows but Master Muhammad. That means whatever, I couldn't know it. Whatever the angel says, it can't be right because it says, I know what knows but him. He doesn't know the angel. And I don't like it. So that was one thing Jonah had a big problem with. So I'm going to leave that alone. I mean, we had a real problem with that. We said, hey, I wanted to die, man. What the hell is going on here? Why you put me in this position? I mean, God had an argument about that. Why are you putting me in this position? And the guy said, what you getting all upset about? Yeah, what you mean I'm getting upset about? You had me do something. I'm the one who pay the price. I'm the one who lose credibility. And then I don't do it, then I end up in Diamond Demon Island for 3 years. Yeah, you helped me when I was there. But you're the reason I got there. You know, so, man, I'm just doing this, man. I just want to die. I don't, because he wanted to give up. But he didn't. But he was really angry about it. He let the God know he was angry about it. But what's that story about? Why is that in there? Why is that story in there? Who's it giving that message to? Trying to give it to me because I'm experiencing it. And it's real because I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like that. It tells you right there. John didn't like it. He didn't like it. He got mad to God about it. He says, told him, I don't like this. What the hell are you doing? So what can I tell you about? So I know his time is close. Time is close, right? And the problem is, it's a severe test for me. Because there's it was 3 people in the angel that can destroy the angel. Right? Well, what does that mean? He said, if the devil knew what hour his time should be broken into, he would stop it. That means if he's able to stop this, the rest of the prophecy is gone. It's dead. That means I'll be blind. Master Muhammad would not be blind. He's on no scripture. I don't know what he's on. I know that supreme wisdom is some aspect of it. But I'll be blind because everything else would fail. Everything after that will fail because the scripture said this, and then something else happened. Everything after that will fail. So that means the devil, if somehow he was able to get that information, then he could destroy the rest of the message angel because it wouldn't happen as they said because something happened that wasn't supposed to happen. That means everything else after that has failed. Okay? Let me see if I can walk you through this, bro. It's complicated. I still don't like it. Do I understand it? Okay. We got another point of view. Suleiman can change it also because he knows what the prophecy is. So he changed something. Elijah Muhammad talked about that. He says that was one of the things the scientists said. They said he could change prophecy. They said scientists could not guarantee what happened afterwards because he might do something different. Now, Elijah Muhammad spoke to that. So according to the scriptures, let me say another way to let it go. It's too complicated. I still don't like it. I'm going to let you know up front. And put it this way. Okay, you see a person, they're getting ready to go on this road, and they don't know that at the end of the road, it's like a big, what do you call a sinkhole. And if they go down there, right? They got their family in a car, right? They're gonna hit it and it's gonna kill everybody. You know that, right? So what you do is that, right? You say, okay, you arrange for another car to hit them before they get there. The other cars will hit them, it's going to major accident, they're all in the hospital. And then they're mad because they're in the hospital, man. Look at that dumbass, he hit us. He was a drunk driver. Look at it. But they didn't realize he saved their life. Because if they kept going the way it was going, it was going to be destroyed. But he said they never know it. They never knew that. And all they know is this guy, man, put him in jail, lock him up for the rest of life, man. They might show him in therapy and all this stuff. Understand that? Okay. I'm trying to give you some feeling for this. So science looked and said, okay, if he says this, and he says everything accurately, then what impact that's going to have on the people around him? What are they going to do? How's that going to affect things? If he do it like that, then it's going to cause that situation to happen. But this situation happened. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put something there that's going to trip him up. Right? He ain't going to like it, but it's going to keep that worst thing to happen. That's where I reconcile in my mind, brothers and sisters. But they saw that if I had everything exactly right, like I said there, that it was going to end up a bad situation for me. There's a way to protect me because, remember, look at the Holocaust. That's exact example. Which is that Holocaust, what could make us more angry than the Holocaust? Damn, man, look at our women and everything else. But look what that does for us right now. Now, we wouldn't have done it. We wouldn't have done it intentionally. And you wouldn't even know if I explained to you now, because you didn't even know what happened. What happened? You told you was sinful and everything else. I'm telling you, no, it was for your benefit. You know, in fact, God, I'm going to get this next time I'm going to show the quote. God said he put us in here for our own benefit. And I read that. I like to file my chair. How in the hell is this our benefit? I think I read that before I got the angel. How in the hell is this for our benefit? He said, it puts us in this situation for our benefit. I understand it now because it says how we transformed everything else. You see what I'm saying? So he said, yeah, but man, all that, it's like, that's what Jinn said, man, why we going to smith this guy, make men shed blood? You see the pattern there? So Jonas made you look like a fool to keep something else worse from happening. Because he wasn't, something else was going to happen. I don't know what it is, what it was, what's supposed to happen, what was supposed to happen. That's why I reconciled it. I still don't like it. I still don't like being by a car. I still don't like the hard cars. But the hard cars is for our good. If you understand it, it's for our good. But damn, that same concept you see with Jonah. That's why I look at it. He was very angry about it. I said, man, why? Ooh. I'm gonna lose credibility. I mean, you make me look like a fool. Well, was that designed to keep the greatest things from happening? Save my life, keep me being crippled. Something. I can't speak to that. But that's why I reconcile it. But that's why, brothers and sisters, start thinking mathematically, because everything that happens, it's a mathematical reason behind it. Now, you may understand the math, you may not understand it. But if you don't understand, the bottom line is always keep the math positive. They don't have to understand the details. Just keep the math positive. Keep positive energy. Now, you may understand the quality, but you understand it's for your own good. Remember they say, everything happens for the believers to their own good? I'm going to leave you that concept again. I'll say it again. If you make sure you're doing the 5 pillars, you're doing things so your energy is positive, then whatever happens is going to be for your own good. Because it's positive energy. No matter what happens, it's for a better good. It might seem bad, but it's a better good. Like I told you, when we was the other place, and it was a whole bunch of crap. I said, man, we're going to get out and move away from these crazy people. We got a better place. If a better place found it, and my wife said, and I told her, stop worrying about money. I mean, I said, don't worry about that. We have plenty of money. We always had plenty of money. Right? Enough money to do what we need to do. We billionaires. We always had enough money. We've never been a money problem with us. Right? I told her, I said, don't worry about that. So I found this. I said, well, let's find this nice area, nice neighborhood. I said, that's where we're gonna go right there. Oh man, that's much more expensive. I said, what you want to worry about it? That's the place. We're gonna get it. We got it. Right? And then a few days later, I'm going down to see one of my clients. Bam, this woman runs a red light, pulls my car, right? Spins me around. I'm a little sore. Didn't get right. She ran the red light, everything else, right? Next thing I know, man, I got a brand new car, a big settlement, and everything else. And I gave it all to my wife. You see, she just looked at me. I said, don't worry about stuff. That was more than enough money to cover everything for quite a while. I said, stop worrying about stuff. I said, I'm in good shape, ain't nothing wrong with me. I said, because if you do positive, everything's going to work positive to your benefit. So everything works for the righteous towards the good. I forget exactly how they say it, right? Let me say it and never close. Exactly how they say it. Everything works towards the good. I'm going to get that quote exactly right. As we know that all things work together for good, those who love God and those who are called according to the purpose. We know all things work together for the good. It means if you got positive energy, the mathematics going to work out to your favor. So if something bad happens, that means it's because good thing happen. Like I said, I went to the doctor's office the other day, and the woman up there, she started talking about, they was talking, they like me, right? I treat them real nice, and we have good. And so she was telling about, she got divorced recently and everything else. And I don't give people advice, right? I said, you know something? I said, sometime to get to the second floor, you got to do the first floor. Sometimes you got to get some bad out your life to make the open door some good to come in. That's what happened to me. Because my demon wife, when she walked out, she opened the door for my wife I have now to walk in. Right? So keep that in mind. It's, you don't have to understand the deep mathematical details. Understand math on a general level. Just keep positive energy. And no matter what happens, it's going to be to your advantage. It may look bad, but you know the good's going to turn out bad, going to turn out good. I'm going to leave it there, brothers and sisters. And I'll continue this part 2 of this tomorrow, probably. Okay, assalamu alaikum.